we live? We ready?
What language is that, dog?
Negro. Spiritual.
Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
I would like to welcome you to the Greatest Show on Podcast. I'm your host, Lee.
What else?
AKA Southside Lee on IG.
What else?
And I'm joined by my partner in pod.
Yucks! Erlington Augustus the Great.
AKA
A wise man once told me, you can never ripped jeans. Let that sink in.
AKA
A wise man once told me, life is about the likes. Question. Would you rather walk into a group of guys in white Air Force Ones or one dude with black Air Force Ones? You be the judge. And we are
3ThePodWay chumps.
Success took a shot.
You goddamn right. Let's give it up for him.
Top multi. It's 15 season. Yo, Golden General.
DC adjacent.
Cecily boy.
Let's give it up for him.
The JT of beating your feet. Cecily boy.
And though she's not here, we're going to represent for Compton's own. Muck. Give it up for her.
Egregious. Hey, shout out to
Shout out to JT, dog.
no, we not doing that.
You not shouting JT out?
Not on this one.
My bad.
Yeah, that's
I mean, you fresh off of Juneteenth.
yeah, come on, bro.
We got
And that's how you want to
And that's
open?
how
Nah, JT, I'll talk to you next week.
Come on, bro. Okay. Wow. Oh, you on his Fave 5?
MySpace.
Oh, top 8. Okay. Respect.
So before we get started, we traditionally used to start with a word from our sponsor. Let's get back to that.
Ooh.
Follow 3ThePodWay on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Chumps.
Sounds so beautiful, don't you agree?
Forgot about those guys. The kids.
So I want to start this particular episode with a direct message to our partners in pod. I personally want to thank you for the support that you have been showing us.
That's beautiful.
And the energy that you have been giving to the podcast, the individuals that comprise this podcast. But there's also so many people that contribute to this that don't sit behind a microphone or stand behind a camera that have given us something to build on and stand on in order to create this thing that we call 3ThePodWay. I could sit here and run through the list of names, and I'm sure you could.
Absolutely.
And voice, I'm sure that you could, of people
sir.
that
Yes,
have
sir.
been supporters, and that list would be a very long list. But I do want to point out one individual specifically. So while we were out this weekend, AB, our man Alan.
Yeah, AB, what's up, big dog?
Now,
South Passe.
Oh yeah.
now I want
Warrior.
to let me shout him out by his IG, ALB1787.
Yeah.
So let me add a little context as to why I'm specifically pointing him out, and just so that everyone understands how these things and what these things mean to us. I don't know Alan personally.
Mm-hmm.
Alan knows Augustus the Great
Right.
personally. But he saw me out and he approached me and told me that he appreciated what we were doing as a podcast. And he enjoyed the content that we deliver week in, week out, and that he checks for us week in, week out. You have no idea what something like that could mean to a creative of somebody who's looking to build something. You have to know that there was a person who told Puff, "Hey Puff, I think you're gonna be the one." There was a person who told Jay, "Jay, you're gonna be the one."
That's heavy. I like that.
And when I run into those individuals, just letting you know, that's the energy I take from it. I feel like we have something. Let's stand on it. We have something.
Right.
And to know that we're connecting means everything to us. And we're looking to, again, continuously return that energy back to you. And I want to go a step further just so you understand where we're coming from, right? There's no money in this when you're at our level. Right. Everything that we're doing here now is out of pocket. Right. We go through these lights, these screens, these laptops, these cameras, all out of pocket because we care about the product that we deliver to you week in, week out. Mm-hmm. This is not to count people's pockets, but these mics ain't cheap. And the reason why we invested in these mics because we sat down and we had mics prior to this, right. And we said that those mics don't deliver the quality of sound that we think people want to hear.
Absolutely.
We care enough about the craft and, again, what we offer to you as a viewer or a listener that we're going to give you the best that we can offer.
Absolutely.
And that energy leads us to continuously build on that. So to our partners in pod, again, thank you. Let's give it up for them.
Let's go.
Shout out to the pod, man.
That was sweet, man. No. They're partners in pods.
So the
partners in pods.
Exclusive.
That was
no pod mates, no potties, no.
That was a message to the partners.
So we should take our
exclusively. If you want to craft a heartfelt message,
I see what you did.
The pod mates,
got you.
You do that.
Hey, pod mates, I got y'all next week. Y'all don't worry about it. Hey, look, stay tuned.
Didn't even care enough about the potties to show up. So
you can't talk about her when she's not here, dog. She just graduated, yo. Shout out to Muck.
Oh, let's give it up for that.
Yeah, she just graduated. Congrats.
Yeah.
Graduating class, absolutely.
She graduated from the joint. Remember the dude was like, "Look at you, sitting on the couch, doing nothing, eating Cheetos." She graduated from that.
Hey, no disrespect if your graduation is held.
Paper.
No disrespect if your graduation is held in a Dollar General parking lot.
Right,
it's a graduation nonetheless.
We love y'all.
Yeah,
and the joint that Romeo did.
Let's give it up for that. Somebody's gonna put the name of that in the comments.
That's neither here nor there.
Right. So something that we experienced recently as well is the Father's Day episode. Yeah. Something that we talked about again off mic was we wanted to be more personable this season. Mm-hmm. We wanted to tell more realistic and I would say stories that you could connect with, right? Personal stories. The Father's Day episode seemed to
capture
and mind you, we weren't even looking to do that, but it just kind of worked out that way. And
shout out to our followers, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that a lot of people identified with different segments within that, and the feedback has been great, right? So I just wanted to kind of pull out a couple of the comments that have actually come out of that. My man Chuck was amused by, I don't even know if you remember all of them.
I don't know Chuck.
But
no.
But my man was amused by all the titles that you had for our guest B.
Oh, be cool.
Yeah, so you had Womb Warrior.
The Womb Warrior, the
Ovary Killer.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Was he the birth control bandit?
Okay. He was.
Listen, first I just be random, like
right.
It'd be it's freestyle.
This man has to be stopped at some point. Yeah. But right now, because the views are going up, we're gonna let him rock. Yeah. Nastasia actually pointed out having the right partner is key. And so so we obviously spoke from a male perspective when we said that, but it's just as important on the female side. So to hear a female viewer actually reach out and say that, just again, add some of the balance into the conversation. Absolutely. She also mentioned that for those that are investing in Hoochie Daddy season,
all thighs matter.
She said, "Don't skip leg day." That was her word to the wives.
Guys, improve them thighs, fellas. Improve them thighs.
Like, guys, improve them
thighs. Like, because you know it's a chicken wing shortage. So the only thing left is.
All right, so moving on. Wow. So we also
that one didn't land.
So on a more serious side of the Father's Day episode,
yikes.
JC actually responded, daughters don't need to be in the streets, but they do need to be street savvy. Do you agree with that?
So I saw that comment and I digested it, and her reasoning was because that your daughters will eventually meet those street savvy guys, right?
Right.
Yeah, I still agree with that, but instinctually as a father, your first instinct is to protect your precious flower, right? You'll let your boy venture out a little bit more. So having a flower, I still don't want her in like too close to the streets. Without me there, I'll hold her hand.
But I think the only reason why I think you feel like you want the son to be more so inclined to the streets because you want them to be able to say, yo, test that chin.
Yeah.
Like see if you can
handle
a squabble.
Right.
Come back home like, yeah, dang, pop, like couple dudes pulled up on me, man. I handled them a little bit though, but
let me ask, is that a requirement for young boys, young men, right? Is that a requirement?
I think it's indirectly.
Okay. Now why let me pull that thread. Let me play devil's advocate. Are you saying that simply as a male or are you saying that as a black male? And I'll explain why I'm asking it that way. Because the argument has been made, whether we agree with it or not, right? That black people are scared of black people. Right.
Absolutely.
And sometimes the reason why you end up in these situations is because you're positioning yourself for something that hasn't even occurred yet. You understand what I'm saying? You're walking around with a natural defense mechanism.
But that's because we, like you said, natural defense. I think as black African American men, we already are coming at every situation on the defense.
So that's what I'm asking. Why?
Because that's how we were nurtured. That's how we were grown.
So should we change that? So like what you're saying,
the narrative should obviously change, but I think with every change, it has to start somewhere, right? Right. And the thing is, like beginning a position of change, we gotta take on the losses as much as we take on the wins, and it might be a lot more losses than it is wins, because like you're saying, like you want them to understand and realize the lesson that's being taught. But if they don't realize it, it's gonna be like we just out here knuckling up.
But go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I respect that perspective. I just think the world is too tough, is too harsh to not be prepared. So especially as a black man. So yeah, I appreciate like you suggesting that the narrative should change. However, I'm gonna still prepare mine for war.
But that's what I'm asking.
What does preparation look like?
But I'm asking a specific question. Prepared for what? Because and again, I only asked that because you said test that chin.
Micro and macro aggressions.
Okay.
Prepared for
and that's a requirement.
Verbal and physical.
Verbal and physical altercations. Prepared for, and now you may not encounter any or all of those.
To you,
however,
in the latter years.
Right.
A lot of people don't realize shit till they turn 30 or 40.
As they say, as the kids say, I'd rather be caught with it than without it.
Okay.
And now I'm not saying he got to be a killer like a murderer, but he has to know how to navigate these potential circumstances, right?
Yeah, because I think it's interesting, right? Because we had this conversation as well, right? A lot of the lessons that we learned were not, hey, sit down, let me talk to you. A lot of these were you picked them up by being around. You pick them up by being either intentionally or unintentionally put in situations and having to figure them out. We've all been, I think we've all been in those situations where, like you said, in a moment, your manhood is being tested and you may not even know why. You don't know how you ended up here, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You're here now. And you got to figure your way out of that. Right, exactly. Right. Either you're going to somehow finesse your way out of it or you're going to take a different method, right?
Finesse the shit out of you.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. Right. So I understand where you're coming from, but I just wanted to ask that question because again, we're talking about changing narratives and we're talking about changing mindsets. And so if we're somewhat investing in the way it's always been done, how are we doing that?
And I'm saying that knowing that I'm about to be raising like suburban kids. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
my thing right
anything
there.
that's coming out of me is they suburbs. You know what I mean? They're
Don't
not
cross the street without crossing the crosswalk.
They're not going to be city kids, right? So that's a whole different lifestyle in itself. However, there are still challenges that come with this complexion, right? So I'm gonna at least give them the baseline of, hey, this is what this brings, right? Everything else, you may not need to know, like, oh, when you hear gunshots, like, go the other direction, right? But
I'm gonna tell you something that blew my mind, and I hope we're not all over the place. I hope people are following. I'm gonna tell you something that blew my mind. The first time that I went to DC Metro, and I saw kids, like little kids, walking other little kids off the metro. And the question was, well, who are they with?
Themselves.
Well, they're with themselves.
Right.
So in essence, right, if you allowed your mind to go this far, in essence, a kid could get on a train,
Right.
go to Philadelphia for the day, and be back by that afternoon. And it's like, well, man, like that level of exposure, again, it's a reach.
I know what you're
But
doing.
I mean, the potential is there to do it, right?
Absolutely.
And it's just like that level of exposure at that age. Like, just imagine like what you could do, or like how your mind would develop having that type of access.
Continuing down that rabbit hole, right? As a youth, real quick story. My mom, right, single mom, working. I had to go to school. She would like teach me the bus route.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is fourth grade. So I don't. What am I? 8, 9?
Give or take.
You're not.
Right. A 20-minute bus ride, right, to school. It's not like I could walk there. So she would ride the bus with me, and I'm by myself at some point, right? But in hindsight, I'm like, oh, she was across the street, like watching, making sure I followed the route, did the right thing. So at whatever point she became comfortable,
Now it's second nature to you.
I was able to do that on my own as an 8, 9-year-old, right? And that's just like, those are things that my kids will never have to do. They're gonna get on the yellow bus. So just to kind of, there are different challenges. Yeah.
I think all that goes with the nature of where you grew up, though, because like you said, like you're saying that and I'm speaking towards Philly, right? Like I don't know what Philly lifestyle is. The neighborhoods are set up like
It's a beautiful city.
I respect that.
So don't speak on it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the transportation looks like, but I'm saying like as far as your mom teaching you the bus route to get to school, that's because maybe a yellow bus or whatever bus system that they had for schools don't go that way. But even so,
Are you implying that he didn't ride the regular?
Yeah. Are you trying to say
That's what it sounded
you rode
like.
a short bus?
I didn't say that.
You have an issue with people that ride the short
No,
bus?
I love
you?
people that rode a short bus. I rode a short bus for a little bit.
He just
Go ahead, because he
put
Because y'all went there and I wasn't trying to go there, but I'm letting y'all know that I'm there.
right
there.
Right. He does
Of
that.
all
Go ahead,
the places to
continue this.
you put
I
it,
love y'all too, yo. Hey,
but
hey.
you put
What were you trying to say? Where were you going?
I don't even know where I was going with it.
Insert joke.
Lee, do your job, Lee. Run the
So
show.
to the point. So to the
Next topic.
To the point.
How was y'all Juneteenth?
No, not yet.
The point was about to be made.
So I also do you have the point?
Go ahead.
Okay, you don't have it. So
No, I had the point, but it's good. Y'all go ahead. It's y'all show. It's y'all show, y'all. Go ahead.
It's the viewer show.
I'm the
They want to hear it.
hold
They
on, I'm
wanna
trying.
hear it.
Stop, man. I'm trying to. All right,
Go ahead. Matriculate.
The thoughts of the voice are not the thoughts and views of 3ThePodWay.
listen. For those that don't know, our cameraman is crying as well. This is all right. So,
Where you going?
but I did also want to say, and I didn't want to miss this point. I want to actually give you your flowers as well. You were very open and transparent about something that most people, I would say, hide from. They dodged the topic, but you leaned into it and you told a story that I think needed to be heard. And based on the feedback, whether we saw it in the YouTube comments or just people that we know, they were proud of you for being willing to tell that story and be that transparent. That was an amazing moment to actually, because I know you personally, and you've never gone into that level of detail just with us talking.
Right.
So to do that, knowing that there's so many other people on the other side of this camera, again, I just want to give you your props for being willing to do that.
Yeah, it's interesting what this microphone to do. Like by accident, that was just obviously an organic moment. However, I was also surprised that like I don't feel like that story is that unique. You know what I mean? I think unfortunately it's a standard. It's like it's part of the process that our society has seen. So yeah, it was just interesting. I appreciate it, and it definitely was one of those moments where it felt good to kind of get that out, and I didn't realize it was gonna happen until after the fact. But yeah,
Right.
it was I'll take it.
No, let's give it up for that. So we are fresh off the heels of our second. Now, okay, So this is how we describe.
I wish I could see the
First of
boy's
all,
face.
I don't think that we should be describing a holiday as second annual. But
right.
but I think that's the way that we operate, and that's what we're comfortable saying. So we'll go with that. This is our second annual Juneteenth holiday. How did you gentlemen decide that you were going to actually spend this particular holiday this year?
I didn't do anything like extra black. I guess I think that's probably the standard. But I went
give me an example, just because I'm here. What would be an example of something
Yikes.
that would be considered extra black?
like traditional African American cuisine.
So, traditional African American cuisine.
Yeah.
What's on the menu?
You know what y'all like. Come on. You know what y'all like.
Like,
Come on, I don't have to say it. Y'all know what y'all like.
no, you do, because they may not be aware. You have to.
All right,
Is
so
there a
like,
hint of orange?
it's fried. It
Okay.
clucks. And there's a white guy leading the charge for a old white dude who sells the most of it.
And they call him Colonel.
Right. Y'all
Okay.
know what y'all like. I didn't do that
Okay.
with a accent of fruit, seed or seedless version.
Red or white?
Red, pinkish,
Oh, that's
green stripes, like tiger stripes, like rawr,
Right.
test the
You
sweetness.
said rare.
Yeah, it's got like tiger stripes on it. I don't eat it, but yeah, I didn't do that. I didn't smoke hookah. You got to get the hookah
Okay.
with flavor. Come on. You know what y'all like. Watermelon mint.
Watermelon mint.
You know what y'all like. I didn't do that. I chill with the fam. You know what I mean? Yeah, just kicked it. Enjoyed my time. Just I went to something in the water.
Okay.
That
We'll get to
weekend.
that. We'll get to that.
Yeah,
We'll get to
but
that.
that's-
Okay.
yeah.
So that's how
On
you
the
spent-
day, I just relaxed.
Okay.
I just relaxed. Yeah.
Did you do anything, boys?
No, I did the same thing. I relaxed. I
You
ain't
had
nothing
the
special.
Colonel's recipe, or
No, I had no chicken.
that's what the. Oh, I didn't know that's what it.
You was gonna leave it for the comments. My bad. Hey, I did not say chicken, y'all.
That's funny.
Hey,
Word. But no, you ain't do
my
that.
my cash app is Cash
I would
Robinson.
say. I would say overall, I think we're as a community still adjusting to what this holiday is. So there was a
It's a
insurance company business in
Right.
Maine that decided to put in their window, it's Juneteenth.
Mm-hmm.
We're closed. It's whatever.
Oh,
Enjoy your collard greens and fried chicken.
that sounds
And
delicious.
honestly, the first thing I thought, I wasn't as offended as maybe I should have been, because my thought was, well, who decided that was going to be the official meal of Juneteenth? I don't think we've decided what that's going to be just yet.
Well, you got time. It's still early.
Right. So I tell you what, we'll put up a poll.
What's the official?
What should be the official
next year?
Yeah, what should be the official meal of Juneteenth?
What do you
And
think?
and that's going to include drink, or depending upon where you're from,
Drink.
drink.
Absolutely,
And again, in our community, colors are flavors.
Absolutely.
So red
Purple.
is a flavor. Orange is a flavor,
Right,
and purple is
it's a
also a
flavor
flavor.
and a
So
color.
please feel free to put those suggestions in the comments. Also, to your point, right? Father's Day, which again we kind of touched on, but Father's Day was also this weekend.
Right.
I do think, for the most part, I think the ladies heard.
They stepped up.
I think they heard the pain
They
in our
stepped up.
voices
They
last
stepped up.
year, and I feel like they responded this year.
Yeah, they stepped up.
Yeah, so let's give it up for them.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a lot of Air Force Ones, PS5s.
Good looks. A lot of
I
good
feel
looks.
like there was a lot of "let me take you out." I feel like there was a lot of perhaps massages being given or paid for, facilitated.
Okay.
I feel like the women. I feel like they heard the call to action.
I didn't get none of that, but it was cool. Yeah, that sounds good. Too.
No, I actually there's some commentary that we
Yeah.
actually received to say, hey,
Oh, okay.
just
All
so
right.
you know, I
It
took
worked.
care of my.
Word.
I took care of mine. So again, we just wanted to acknowledge that. You also touched on Something in the Water, which actually took place in the National Capital Region this year. For those that, again, that don't know, this is your first time hearing about it. Something in the Water is a music festival that is curated by the Pharrell, if you don't know, of the Neptunes. It originally started in Virginia Beach. He ran into an issue with the local city government because his cousin was, in essence, murdered by a police officer.
Right.
And all he asked for was that to be investigated. It was not. So he decided to pull his festival, which, if anyone knows about these festivals, they contribute greatly to the local economy.
Absolutely.
And to the overall, I would say, energy of a city for that particular time frame. So rather than do that in Virginia Beach, he decided that he would come to DC, aka Chocolate City. It's still known as that, for those that know.
Milk chocolate. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're supposed to keep going.
He said cookies and cream.
Yeah, keep flowing, bro.
So that festival moved here to DC. Did anyone partake in that particular festival?
I partook, respectfully. Logistical nightmare.
Talk to me. Okay.
Yeah. Damn, I shouldn't start with the critique first.
It sound I hear where you going, but if that's where you at, just start there.
We're gonna start low and then go high,
Okay.
right? Logistical nightmare. They put 30 to 50,000 people on a 3-lane street,
Right.
a mile apart where the stage is. They had one strip of porta potties. It was just bad. It was poor planning, or that's what it felt like. It felt like it was poorly planned. It felt like it might have been rushed. I don't know how long these festivals take. Typically, I think they go a year at least in the making.
Well, you got to think about when we heard about it. By the time we heard about it was less than a year.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it just feels like they might have did a little bit of a rush job, and it was like I said, a logistical nightmare.
It felt like to a degree that they underestimated the crowd that was going to actually participate.
You're doing something in DC, dog. Like, logistically, anything being done to that magnitude in DC is not about to be comfortable, regardless. Like the area where they chose, I feel like they should have chose the mall.
Yeah,
it's
the
a little bit more
mall,
wider,
right? More grassy.
Like you can like that's one big section to itself, right? Like I feel like you could, because
and we've seen other events held over there.
They do kickball leagues, they do softball leagues, they do all flag football leagues on the mall.
They've had other
multiple games and multiple
too.
Concerts there. So ideally, I think that would have made more sense. But why it didn't happen, I don't know. But I feel like that would have made more sense.
But I think that's what we're talking about. I think due to the fact that they might not have had the time to get like the proper permits.
Nah, man.
You don't think so?
Nah, because I feel like you can give them that grace, but how much time do you really need?
I don't know.
I don't know. I've never set up anything.
That's not the first event in DC, is it?
Nah, you're right. Yeah,
it's not the first event.
But in fairness,
they're playing for inaugurations. They're playing for parades.
Yeah,
they're playing for everything.
But in fairness, they haven't. But in fairness to them, they haven't.
Who's they?
Pharrell and
it's not Pharrell. It's DC to do that. They partnered with DC for a reason. DC has to control the logistics of that.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That's not Pharrell.
Okay.
Pharrell don't know that. Pharrell don't live here. So Pharrell to be like, okay, I want all of Constitution Avenue to myself. You don't know Constitution Avenue. You don't know the traffic pattern. You don't know none of that. Like the mayor knows that. DC knows that.
I definitely.
That's the first time I heard that.
I blamed it on Pharrell. You might be up to something
because you know what you're doing. You just it's DC. I can cut the check easy. Right. That's when like money's come like.
So maybe okay. Let's use your point. So maybe he didn't have much say.
Right.
In where the location, in where this festival was going to be. All he gave them was, "This is what I'm looking to do," and they said, "Well,
how
okay,
can you help?"
Right. And they decided that these were going to be the streets that could be used to do that.
I feel like that's what it because make it happen. Cut the check. The check is there. Once you get the money deposit, all right, boom, we got to make this happen one way or another.
Yeah.
Because I went out there, right. I didn't go all 3 days. I went there Sunday. I saw.
What was you doing the other 2 days?
So Friday I went to Hookie. Big up to me. I said fetting season, boy. We there.
Well, in English. For the non-English
fetting season,
listeners.
Caribbean season.
Okay,
we do festivals. We do a lot of stuff to celebrate the Caribbean culture. So this past Friday was Hookie weekend.
When you jump on a rumper, is that what y'all call it?
This is when you jump to good music. So I was talking about.
Continue. Yeah, he good. He
boy's
good.
good.
He good. He good.
But no, to say what I said about something. What I went there and I saw my boy who's he works in law enforcement. So he was there. He was talking about like, yo, we had this one on lock. So it's not about like they didn't poorly plan. I feel like
DC
Pharrell got hit with like, damn, this is all I gotta work with.
and I
gotta
made
make
the
it
best
work.
of it. Okay, I respect that.
He don't live here. He don't know it.
I like that.
If it was Virginia Beach, because I didn't go to the one in Virginia Beach. So if anybody who knows, comment and see how the Virginia Beach would look like.
But I did talk to people who did because that kept coming up, and they said that it was a complete 180 as far as the experience was concerned. Because apparently they had chairs. You're already talking about you're on the beach, so just sitting down naturally is more comfortable.
Yeah, here was just concrete.
Standing up on concrete for
like they
3, 4, 5
hours.
hours. And the thing is that the way that the artists were stacked up, especially that Sun stage, which was like the main event stage. You're talking about acts that you want to see starting roughly 3, 4, and going until 11:30, 12 o'clock.
That's a stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing was that as the night progressed, those crowds they began to swell. So if you had room at 3, by the time 10 o'clock rolled around, you had people in your lap. You understand what I'm saying? Like it was shoulder to shoulder, that type of situation. I never looked at it that way. So I will say that's an interesting perspective to look at it from.
I feel like you can't put that on Pharrell because, like I said, it's not. He came to the powers to be that reside here to say, hey, I want to do something here. I want to make this joint booming. I want to make this joint a whole live venue. So what can you do for me?
So what were some of y'all's highlights? I know I have a couple of personal favorites.
I don't have any.
Wow.
I'm glad I ain't paid money for it.
Yikes.
Put it on that.
I paid all of it.
Well, let me jump in because I only have a couple.
Yeah.
So I would say Usher's performance, night one, was he reminded you why he is who he is as far as like the way he's revered in the culture.
You said you like Bad Girl. That was your joint. I'm asking, bro.
So you had Usher, and then honestly, to see Tyler, because I really did like Tyler's album. I think you could argue Tyler the Creator.
Oh, okay.
I think you could argue that Tyler the Creator actually did have the rap album of the year last year, the one that was curated by Drama. But to see him perform that live, because I've always heard he was a great live performer.
Absolutely,
I thought that was kind of amazing. Surprisingly, I said I only had a couple. Snow Allegra surprised me a lot. Again, just her vocal capabilities and just like her control of the crowd. And then I got one more sleeper. Then I'm out.
No, keep going.
One more sleeper.
Keep flowing.
Bia was like that.
I heard about her.
No, Bia's set was like
Word.
that. And a lot of people were sleeping on
She was too
Bia.
early. She was 3 o'clock. I couldn't make it out there early.
Bia was like that. So
lit.
now it's one of those things where like, because I'm so heavy into music and into the culture, I love discovery. I don't care when I discover it. I love discovery.
Word,
so now
that.
I witnessed her live performance. Now I'm going through the discography. Now I want to understand like what other music do you have behind it. I know you got the J. Cole song.
Right.
I know you got the Russ song. But I heard some other songs up there because of the way you delivered them. I need to hear the rest of these records.
I like
so,
that.
I just wanted to speak on that. You had some highlights?
Well, you talked about Usher, T.I., the OG.
Yeah.
Your guy from the South. Your fave, Push.
Yeah, King Push.
How did that make you feel? Moist? Go ahead, bro.
He had a sweat towel, y'all.
Yikes. Did he sweat on? Did he drip on you? Never mind. We'll talk about that off stage. The clips came on.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb.
Haven't used that button.
The clips came on with Pharrell. That was cool. Malice felt like he was forced to be up there. However, it was still a good thing to see. Lil Baby did a pretty solid set.
Man, I skipped that one. But go ahead. Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. That was pretty much it.
No, Lil Baby was impressive. I won't, because again, I try to stay away from shitting on people. It's just my personal thing. Because everybody who's a creative, you understand, like, you sensitive about your art. But there were other artists that we were looking forward to seeing.
Oh, right.
That kind of let us down. as far as like their performances. I won't name them, but there were a couple of artists that
What's
did.
your day?
What's
your day?
Yeah, like I say, I'm not gonna do that.
Baby.
Because I mean, people could look at this and critique the shit out of us the same way. So respectfully, I'll just say that it just didn't quite meet the. I didn't say that.
Yeah. Wow. Why would you do that?
Yeah. Why would you do that? If you gonna go that far, go ahead and say it.
No, you was humming.
If you gonna go that far,
it was in 2-part harmony.
Nah.
if you gonna walk out on that ledge, go ahead. So who was
Speaking
it?
of festivals,
Yeah, nah, you ain't about to get me.
So something in the water didn't necessarily open up the festival season, but I would say it's one of the biggest so far. We had Dreamville earlier this year,
we did.
but now you have something in the water. But this is the launching pad for the remainder of the summer, which are
Made in America,
which is in Philly,
Rolling Loud. That's in Miami.
Right?
and from the Caribbean, massive Caravana by
Caravana.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun. Then you, on that same lane, Miami Carnival.
Carnival is October,
Also gonna be a good time.
but hold up, the same time this weekend though was Hooky Weekend in DC. So in lieu of DC Carnival no longer being a thing here for the last 3 or 4 years, like Hooky Carnival is like Hooky Arcade has took over. Right?
So for those that don't know, what was DC Carnival?
DC Carnival was a long-standing parade on Georgia Avenue in DC.
Okay.
Man, I think the first time I went, I was probably like 14 or something like that, right? But it was like it was a vibe, yo. Going up.
Yikes!
It was a whole vibe.
You're like a vet.
Decades.
Damn.
Agree.
Egregious.
Decades.
Yo, but no, DC Carnival was a long-standing thing in the DMV, yo, man. Like everybody came out to that joint, man. It was a parade up and down Georgia Avenue. Food, you talking about vendors, you talking about music. It's just a whole vibe. But I think a few years ago, a big brawl came out
as
of that
with
joint,
most
dog.
things, right?
Trash cans being thrown, bats, whatever you say, like it happened, right? And they canceled it, right? And then they shut it down for like a couple years, and then COVID hit. So like you running into the whole, roller coaster of like, nah, we haven't done it in 2 years. Why do it now? Why do it now?
Right.
So like Hooky took over that space, right? In my opinion, right? And it's been a whole
same
vibe.
energy, same concept.
Same energy, same concept, same, bigging up the Caribbean massive, dog. Like I went Friday, and Friday was a whole vibe, man. It was just a lot of beautiful people, man, just enjoying music, enjoying themselves, enjoying just being around friendly people and just having a good time. So
that's dope.
That led me into my weekend, right? Like, and then I went to Something to Water on Sunday. So it was just like, in all essence, for my weekend, it was a good weekend.
Man, I hope that I hope that the day returns that the culture is primarily that. We hear so many horror stories now about when people congregate in order to have a good time.
What just happened this past week in Mochella?
Yeah. But I want us to get back to a time where like Daytona Beach, Myrtle Beach, like those type of situations where again, people come together to have collectively a good time. Now, here's one thing that we do know. Anytime you put a massive amount of human beings together, there will be the outlier.
Potential.
That's going to happen.
For something.
One of 20.
But back in the day, it seemed like it was more manageable. And it seems like those type of things were isolated, right? To where like even the people that attended with made sure that it was an isolated incident. Whereas now, man, it just seems like once it starts, it seems like everybody just kind of finds their way in it, rather than, like I say, what it used to be.
But I think it's also due with the temperature of the time, though, too. Because I don't know what specific time frame you're speaking to, but I feel like in this time frame now,
early
just
90s.
with everything just being so, like, uneven and unleveled, right? I feel like it's just, like you said, you find a lot more people than before that are on that time.
Yeah, I mean, you've heard like just conversationally, right? Like people, especially those that live in metropolitan areas, and I'll use Philly as an example. When the temperature rises,
the body counts go up.
Yeah, like temperaments tend to change.
Yeah,
now again, I'm from, I'm more or less from the sticks, right? It's not it's not directly correlated that way.
Right.
But can you speak to that? Is that a real
No,
thing?
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, people on top of each other, the heat, just like you said,
Aggravated,
tempers
easily.
rising. Yeah, it's a known thing. Like when the sun comes out, the guns come out. So it's just
just not willing to budge,
Yeah.
right? Like not as understanding and just not willing to again give an inch in almost any situation
I saw that with
due to
teaching.
the temperature.
I saw that with teaching. Like once we was like the kids in the school all year round, and once the sun hits, they outside. Oh, what was you talking last week?
right.
Bet. As soon as they get a space and the opportunity for it,
Yeah,
it just pops off because they got space. They can breathe now.
Yeah.
They can let all their aggression out.
What subject you taught? Did you teach? I'm asking.
Go
Lunch.
through my whole career.
Lunch. So okay, so some of these other events, right? You
an answer.
you
See, you was focused on me, and then he caught you.
Because you came in with the aggression,
I
dog.
just asked you a simple question
sweat
about
towel at?
what subject you taught, and that's
I was
it.
a TA, son.
Nah, he said you taught lunch, and then you ain't got no smoke for your man.
Oh, that's what he said. I said I taught lunch. Oh.
Oh, now you ain't hearing him. You butter soft. Go ahead, big man.
Butterscotch. Butterscotch.
so
Twist
okay,
the
yeah.
rapper, nigga.
So we listed a couple of events that are going to be coming up this upcoming summer. So again, enjoy your time off. Again, we're starting to see now the new wave of Memorial Day. You have Juneteenth.
Yeah.
You have July 4th. You have Labor Day.
Booming.
So now as adults, you're kind of getting that
Outside open.
You're starting to get that vacation
Yeah.
or that
Set
summer
it up.
vacation you've been asking for. So now
Right,
you
right,
got
right.
it. So just plan accordingly. Enjoy yourselves and be safe. Let's give it up for that. You know, we're gonna actually pause for the calls, and again, let's get another word from our sponsors in here.
Follow 3ThePodWay on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Chumps.
So imagine you worked at a establishment, and we can insert name here. Let's say you worked there. I don't know. Let's give a round number of 27.
That's right.
So let's say you work somewhere for 27 years. I'm just gonna ask you a general question. Y'all just bear with me, right? If you work somewhere for 27 years, what would you expect to receive as a result of your dedication to this one organization for 27 years?
A
Just
pension.
A pension. Okay.
Right.
What else?
Definitely a pension. What if it was like 2025 is usually the year before you retire? Like,
Yeah, but what else? A party, maybe.
a party maybe, yes.
A
At
party.
least a
Ass
cake.
party.
At least
You want
a
a
cake.
cake. You want a
Okay.
cake.
Party with cake.
Um,
Pension, party, cake.
Jan from accounting, she should stop fronting. Come
Wow.
holler at me at this point.
You want that extra stipend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quote
All
unquote.
right, so I'm gonna move on from that. And again, the voice that you just heard loud and clear was the voice.
The voice.
No, there's the voice of Ernest and Augustus.
The voice.
I don't know anybody named Jan from accounting.
So our man, 54-year-old Kevin Ford. Now let's do some math.
Shout out
right?
to Kevin.
So let's do some math. So 54.
Damn, I was really bad at that.
54
Carried the
minus
one, dropped the
27 is what?
I hope you're right.
I hope I'm right too, because this could get embarrassing. So what would that be?
I don't know. You were supposed to do it.
No, I did it. So what? No, don't pull your phone out.
Hold up.
54 minus 27 is what?
Carry the one.
Huh? Don't mumble it. What is it? All right, it's 27. So 27.
That's
So
what I said. Yeah.
So in essence, half of my man Kevin Ford's life, he has worked at
Dedicated.
He has dedicated his life and his talents, because we all have talents, right? And again, I'm not even being funny about this. He has a talent, and he expressed that talent through his.
Services.
Come on, man.
I'm
Do
with you.
services.
Come on,
I'm
man.
with you,
No,
bro.
yeah, no, man. Kevin did his thing, man. Nah.
He expressed his talent and his
Right.
artistry through
It's customer service.
Burger King. Stop,
Chill.
man.
Chill.
What is wrong with y'all?
Relax,
Yeah.
man. You gotta
My
relax.
man dedicated half of his life to this,
Chill.
dog. Y'all
So-
laughing
Y'all
about
So-
it.
have to be better.
So Kevin Ford dedicated 27 years to the
Big
artistry,
Kev.
to the artistry of Whoppers, etc.
Go ahead, bro. Go. You drawing, yo. Bro. All right, 27.
And so at the end of his,
It was it the end?
yes. So at
No, he said clock out. He said
He ain't clock out. That's what y'all doing. Yo, y'all got to do better, bro. I don't want to be here.
so at the end, so
Hey, anybody ever walk off stage, off set? Yeah, I gotta go, man.
so
Go
at,
ahead, man.
so at the end,
Is he
all
the
right,
manager or something?
so at the end of his last shift after 27 years, he's presented with a gift,
A gift bag.
a token, if you will, of their appreciation for the time and dedication that he has put into the Burger King Corporation.
Okay. What is that? Gift?
This bag that he was handed
Let's
was
hear some of
a
the contents. Do you have the content?
it was a brown paper bag,
No.
and this is what it contained. This is what 27 years. So those of you looking for a career change,
Right.
Those of you that are part of the great
career
the
change.
great resignation, this is what you can look forward to at the end of 27 years at said company.
Let's hear.
A bag of Reese's,
Mm-hmm.
2 pins,
Hold on, what the minis?
the
or
minis,
Like,
a
okay.
bag of mini Reese's,
Okay.
2 pins,
Like ink?
yes, ink
Okay.
pens, and a Starbucks cup. Mind you, I said he worked at the Burger King Corporation,
So you can give him a Junior Whopper?
and he received a Starbucks cup for a token of
appreciation.
gratitude,
Oh,
of
right,
appreciation.
Right.
First of all, let's give it up for 27 years.
Respect. 27 years doing anything is
Right.
impressive. Right.
Day in, night out.
Now, while we are making light of this, and I think deservedly so, from the standpoint of we're joking, but we're actually caping for Kevin, right?
Right.
Because 27 years, and that's all that they could muster was to give him a bag of Reese's, 2 cups, and a Starbucks cup.
That's disgusting.
Belittling, dog.
It's crazy, right?
I don't think no, it don't matter what position you hold in what industry or whatever you're doing. Like if you're dedicating any amount of time, right? And you talking about consistently 27 years, and I'm speaking like not knowing his record, right? Like if he had no infractions, no nothing like that. He never dropped a fry.
But he wouldn't have made it 27 years like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
clearly
so
he
I'm
was-
saying, like,
right.
obviously you've been doing your thing for
Right.
this long, and maybe at the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, dog, like you could do a little bit more than that, right? Like, what I think for him, right? What would be, and this is for me, if I was in his position, right? I think a more rewarding gift for me is like, give me a franchise, or give me an actual restaurant, give me an actual Burger King
Because
spot.
27 years is nothing to
But
sneeze at.
27
That's a lot.
Because
That's
the
a lot
Domino's
to ask.
commercial with the chick, she has 2 franchises in 7
She been-
years,
yeah, right.
and she's not even 30.
Right.
But to your point, circumstances could be completely
You
different.
got people
too,
that can
right?
run that joint for
Bro,
him, though.
after
Yeah.
27 years.
27
yeah,
years,
he
you can
coulda-
learn something.
He could have
You-
got a taco truck or something.
You know the
Something.
company like your back
Yeah,
end.
fried chicken and watermelon truck for
but
all that.
But here's what I'll say though. I will say that, and again, while
Orange soda.
we are making light of it, there is an extreme humbleness in Mr. Ford.
Absolutely. He was very appreciative.
because he was
He was
extremely
appreciative for it.
appreciative
Yeah,
of
yeah.
those items. What I'm really, my joking is really pointing my finger at these corporations and the way that they treat employees that do, in essence, again, give these companies everything that they have, to include the better part of their youth, right? Because we said this man started,
I mean, his life.
he would have
bro.
had to have started at 27 in order to
least.
meet this, right? Based on the information we have here. So for someone to, again, commit to you that way, again, there should be, if you're not going to commit back in some form or fashion, at least show that level of gratitude on the back end. Because everybody that starts there is not lasting 27 years.
Sure.
That is an anomaly, I'm sure.
So
in
then,
itself, right?
Then the question begs, like, do we invest too much time into
Yes.
other people's
Yes.
dream?
Yes. So there's an interesting story, and I think I've told you this before. A gentleman is leaving work at 8:30, and he's in the parking garage, and his CEO is leaving at the same time and walks past him. The CEO walks to a Lamborghini, and the Lamborghini says, the Lamborghini says, they
do that now, though.
The CEO, the CEO says, it's like Knight Rider, right? The CEO says to him, like, hey, I see you working late, right? No, I'm sorry. The worker says to the CEO, hey, boss, I see that you're working late.
Right, right.
And the boss responds to him and says, yeah, and if you keep working late, I'll be able to buy another one of these next year.
Wow.
Let that sink in, right?
That's hard.
So the more time and effort you put into someone else's
Dream,
vision and dreams,
Right,
you're
right,
only
right.
reducing your potential to do the same. Now, here's the thing. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody.
Right,
Some
right.
people are more comfortable. Let's just call a spade a spade. Some people are more comfortable and some people are better
that clock.
equipped to work in a structure that allows them to receive tasks and execute those tasks.
Absolutely.
Everybody's not a visionary. Everybody's not in the mindset or in the position of being a leader of people, resources, and missions.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for everybody, right? So let's not put that out there as though everyone has that option, because it's just not
should
for
be doing
everybody.
that, right.
But if you do have it within you, I do think it's worth looking at. Could you step out and do your own thing? Do you have it? Because we all have it, which is capacity.
Right.
Now, what are you willing to do with it?
I say this jokingly often, but I think we're afraid to be great, right? And
Absolutely.
there's something to that.
Afraid of
right?
Why?
success.
Why?
Because you don't know what it looks like.
I think
Yeah.
I think it's a little more direct than that.
I think there's comfort in fear.
Yeah, because you don't know what
Right.
it looks like. You're safe there.
Yeah, we're very safe.
Sense.
We're comfortable in our fear, right? So you don't have to worry about invoices, paying them. You don't have to,
Taxes.
focus on taxes,
Workman's
name
comp,
the thing,
everything.
right.
It's so
All
much
that, to your point,
extraness.
is just you just come in a structured situation. You clock in, you clock out, and you're good.
But you know what my thing is? My biggest thing is proximity. Because when you
just
said
about to say
that,
that.
that's exactly what jumped
just
out,
about to
right?
say that.
Proximity. So what I mean by that is, as an individual who thinks very highly of what they do and how they do it, right? You start expressing these things to those around you.
Right.
And there's the potential for people not to receive it or to return the energy that you have about it, which could then place doubt and make you hesitant.
Man,
right?
that's real.
And more times than not, I think that happens to people. I think people have that inkling, right? Like, man, I could start my own company. And then they mess around and they lease. And this is how I feel. They lease the dream to someone else.
Ooh,
and then
that's
someone
heavy.
else gets a hold of that dream. And then the way that they give it back to you is not the way that you handed it to them. And the next thing you know, that dream dies.
That's hard. That's hard.
So what you have to do is, and I'm being very pointed and direct about this.
That's
you
hard.
have to if you're a dreamer, surround yourself with dreamers.
Mm.
If you're a person who has any type of initiative or any type of proactiveness about a thing, surround yourself with people who have that mindset. They don't even have to be in the same industry, because it's not about that. Steel is always going to sharpen steel. Me and my man Chuck have that conversation all the time. You have to surround yourself with those that are of the same mindset in order for you to be pushed, because those that aren't, that's cool. That's just where they rest and they reside. That doesn't mean you can't be friends. It doesn't mean that we can't be cordial. It doesn't mean that we can't get a drink. It doesn't mean that we can't hit a happy hour.
Right.
But what it means is that when I'm working, I'm not coming to you. When
Right,
I'm
right.
dreaming, I'm not coming to you.
You know,
And you know why.
you know what's crazy? I want to build on that statement I made about being comfortable in your fear, right?
Mm-hmm.
To your point, I think people also get comfortable in other people's fears, right?
Absolutely.
I ain't afraid to fly. However, I hear you talking about how terrifying it is, how bad it is, how scary it is. Maybe I've never even flown ever, right?
Right.
But somehow I take on all that angst, that anxiety, that worry that you have, and that discourages me from ever flying.
And then you know what you become? You become then you inherently become a projector.
That's hard.
So now this person has now, right, given you that
my
to
dream
where
and
now,
yours.
to where now you become a projector of all the negativity that they were carrying.
Right.
And who knows? And again, I know this is not, it's not one for one.
Right.
Right. It's not apples to
This
apples.
may not be Kevin's
Right.
situation.
But then you now perhaps crush the next person's dream because of the energy that you brought from something else.
That's real.
Again, it all comes back to, if you're confident in something, give it a shot. There's no failure in trying. There's always a lesson to be learned. Even if that lesson is, I fail, I talk to the voice and I give the voice my failure and he learns from that and now he's successful. And I'm okay with that.
Right.
Right? Because I was at least able to offer him something. Right? That's another thing too that we have to be a little more willing to do.
But I took,
Because I'm sorry, one second. So Instagram has put us in a weird space of projecting the wins. The wins are the only things that matter. But who knows how many losses it took to get there.
No one cares.
And if you knew, I think you'd be more willing to try and step out on these things rather than just assuming that everybody you're viewing is winning.
No, but two things to that though about the Instagram post. But like anything with social media, it's only popularizing the wins, right? It's a highlight. It's a highlight reel.
Absolutely.
Right.
Nobody posts, oh my gosh, I lost $5 million yesterday. But hey, look, I won $10 million on Monday. They only posting the wins and not posting the losses though, right? But and also too, to speak to the thought about proximity, man, it's just like speaking back to about the whole CEO of the Lamborghini and everything like that. It's just the sense of like the low level worker is so far out of reach with the person who's running the show that they don't realize like, oh, hey, let me reach back and make sure that they feel appreciated. They leave it to the program manager or leave it to the manager of the store, or leave it to that person, leave it to that person. But if that manager doesn't feel appreciated, they're not going to appreciate the lowly worker that's working the fry line.
Right.
So it matriculates down from the head. Like, yo, heavy is the crown that wears the crown. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, right? So it's like it has to matriculate down. So like if you don't see that from the head, it's not gonna be portrayed through the ladder of everybody in your.
Let's ask a rhetorical question, right? What happened to being your best advocate, right? Something that I saw take off years ago was when people started branding themselves, right? And at first, when I first saw it, I didn't understand what that phenomena was.
What you mean? Expound on that.
So, for example, I am a consultant, right? And I could lead with, I'm a consultant for company X. Or I could say, I, as Southside Lee, am the product and the service provider.
Gotcha.
I'm the brand, right? The company has acquired my services. Now you work for them, they sign the checks, but it's all in how you present it.
Gotcha.
Right? I am the product and the service provider to said company.
Okay.
They have acquired my services, i.e. I signed the contract, and now I am now working in partnership with said company.
Versus for.
Right. The presentation and how you actually manipulate the words not only speaks to how you will be received, but I think it's a certain level of confidence that you walk around knowing that you are the brand, knowing that as I walk these halls, people are viewing me as the entity, and who knows what potentially that could lead to.
Absolutely. No, that's real.
So, let's see. Man, this has been good.
This was where I was feeling. Yeah, so that's crazy, man. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all right,
You got
yeah. So normally this,
Hey, shout out to Ernest to the Degree.
let's give it up for him.
Yeah.
All right, so real quick,
We're back?
right?
Okay.
Yeah, so
We're
real
back.
quick. So movie review, right?
Okay.
So had an opportunity to view
Let's
Top
hear
Gun,
this.
right? To view Top Gun. Top Gun
Tom
is
Cruise.
Tom
The
Cruise.
new one, right?
Yeah, the new one.
Or the old one.
Yeah, no, Top Gun Maverick. This is Top Gun 2 in a sense,
Okay.
right? So many years later. I think it is an amazing movie, right? The storyline was there, the visuals were there, and it kept you engaged from literally the beginning to the end. It's not a long movie, which, again, I appreciate it, right? But it is a very, again, engaging film, right?
Okay.
So it led me to another, let's just throw it out there, right? So at a point, there was Will Smith and there was Tom Cruise, right? and there was the quiet battle of who produces the better films.
Okay.
And this was back when Will Smith was delivering summer blockbusters every summer.
Independence Day.
Independence Day.
That's probably the best one.
Men in Black.
Right.
Bad Boys.
So Bad Boys, right?
Yeah.
So Will Smith was dropping like classic after classic,
one through
right?
2, 1 through 3. Yeah, he was just.
So the argument or the question is, who has the better movieography? Is that what you would call it?
Discography.
I don't know.
Filmography.
Yeah.
Filmography.
Oh, right?
Look, he's so proud of himself. Look at this.
He clearly looked
Got
that
one
up.
finally.
No, I was like films and.
Oh, okay.
Did you learn that when you was on the bus? So
Look,
You walked to school?
so the so
on a dirt road with no shoes. Sorry. Beats out. I had to do it. Continue. No, do you think, man?
everybody get their turn. Just know that this is a revolving thing. Like
Eating watermelon.
it'll be your turn.
Go ahead, do you think, man?
So the argument is, okay, does Tom Cruise or Will Smith have the better movies?
And
I said that it could be argued that Tom Cruise.
No.
You can't.
Stand on your,
you
stand on your
for
statement.
Tom Cruise.
Because I can hear
Tom Cruise
has 50 movies compared to Will
how
Smith
is
72.
the undisputed.
I didn't go that far, but let's have this fun debate. How many classic movies does Will Smith have?
Wow.
Okay, let's go with it.
Name them.
Sounds like he hates. Is it because Will Smith slapped Chris
Classic
Rock?
movies, right? He has the Bad Boys franchise.
Bad Boy
Obviously.
franchise.
Yes, Men in Black franchise.
Let's go 1 and 2. We just not giving out.
You're not gonna give him 4. You're not gonna
We're
give him
not
4.
give him 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, or whatever.
So he has Men in Black.
Okay.
1, 2. That's 4.
You're not gonna go that. You're not gonna go first.
We're not giving more than 2.
Shoot, I Am Legend was dope.
Okay.
He did that by
That's a
himself.
5-pack.
All right. Let's go. 7 Pounds was a dope movie.
That's what was the girl?
Rosario Dawson.
I loved her. And she was sickly. I loved her in that.
Because she was sickly?
Kind of weird. Whatever.
Go ahead.
Fetish much. All right. The Pursuit of Happiness, dog.
Pursuit of Happiness.
Name a movie Tom Cruise did that was on the level of Pursuit of Happiness.
Okay. He's got range. You're showing range. That's
He has
7.
Hitch. Hitch was a comedy.
Okay.
Romantic comedy, right?
That was your favorite? You said that's your favorite rom-com?
Wow.
That's an 8-pack.
Yeah. Well, for the kids, he has Shark Tale.
Are we doing animated?
Wait a minute.
We're not doing anime?
We
We're not
doing Annie?
I take it back.
You went to the Annies?
I take it back. I didn't know where you was going with it.
So are you going to add Aladdin?
Yeah. You
Aladdin,
want me to?
whoa.
You want me to?
Whoa. Don't
want
you
me to?
dare disrespect the
Ali?
genie, bro.
He did Ali.
He did Ali.
Ali. Aladdin, I'm giving him Aladdin. That's a 10.
He did Wild Wild West, bro.
All right.
Wild Wild West.
Okay.
No, go ahead. No, he's
Enemy
doing
of the
that.
State.
I was thinking of the soundtrack.
Okay.
My bad.
Come on, man. Yeah.
My bad.
Like, he has classics.
That's 11 at least.
That's
Okay.
6 degrees of separation. Like that's to people's choices.
Where he was getting clapped?
So
That's to people's discretion. I don't know. He from Philly. I don't know what you like.
Go ahead, bro.
so you gave him how many?
11.
Okay. So all right. So
And King Richard. My bad. Not to,
The
not
new
to throw
joint.
salt on
I ain't
on
see
the
it.
woman.
I still haven't seen it.
For real, that's a dumb movie. It was good.
What about the joint where he was like an alien cop killer? Not Men in Black.
the one
but
that came on Netflix.
on
You
Netflix.
talking about Bright?
Right. Yeah.
Nah,
That was actually pretty good though.
I
If
thought
you
it was
watched
all right. All right, we gonna stick to that 12-pack.
So you giving him 12?
That the people gave him 12. I ain't give 12.
Okay. The people gave him 12.
We removed 3 or 5 of them joints. So
All right. So
yeah, more.
Let's go to Tom Cruise.
All right. So
Thomas Cruise.
So
Is
look.
that his name, Thomas?
Yeah. So now let's keep in mind, right?
Wow.
No. Right.
You about to go to numbers.
Never would I thought I'd see a show about the culture where someone's caping for someone who's not of the culture.
No, it's clearly you know that you're talking to guys that watch movies that they purchase at the barbershop.
No, I watch all movies though. Like I'm a movie head though. I'm a movie head. No, that's one thing you can't give me. I'm a movie head. I watch all movies.
Clearly, these guys buy all their movies
No, I
from the
do.
guy at the barbershop.
I do. Oh shit! Is that against the law? I can't say that out loud. Oh, never mind.
So with Tom Cruise, right? Again,
Thomas Cruise.
just a fun debate. Mission Impossible, all of them.
How many?
That's
Six?
5.
5.
That's 5.
Five
right?
Mission
All of them?
Impossible.
No, I
Five
can't give you
Mission-
all 5, bro. Nope.
Bro,
All of them. All 5.
He dropped down the same room 5 times. Part one.
And there's a 6th one coming out next year.
No,
So you already
way.
gonna give him the 6th one, even if it didn't
Wow.
drop?
Yes, I saw the previews. I'm a
Nah,
All
I
right.
ain't give
We'll
Can
give
we
him
hedge
5.
that?
I can
Can we
give
go
you 5. I give you 4.
3 or 4 to
I
5?
give you
No.
4.
We're polling the room.
The-
GT. 5.
Five?
All 5, right?
Wow.
All
60.
5. So all 5.
No.
So Top Gun, classic.
1 through 8.
1 and 2. 1 and 2.
So the
That's
new one
7.
too.
Yeah,
That's
1 and 2.
That's 7.
Damn,
Okay,
This
that's
race
7.
is looking
What else you got?
scary.
That's 7. Jerry Maguire.
Okay, show me the money.
Show me the money.
That's an 8-pack.
Right? A Few Good Men.
You can't handle the truth.
9.
Yeah, right?
But he wasn't the star there, was he?
But he was in it. It don't matter. Jack Nicholson.
Oh,
come on
Shaky
now.
Warrior.
Shaky Warrior.
Shaky Warrior.
Because he was in it, he gets the credit.
All right, we're gonna give you.
What was
It's
the line?
tough.
Stay at 8.
No, what I'm saying
Keep
is
going, man.
no, hold on. What I'm saying is that Jack Nicholson had the line of all lines, but Tom Cruise was a primary character in it. But everyone just remembers that line.
It's cool. Cool story,
All
bro.
right, we'll
9.
give-
I give you 9.
We'll give you 9.
All right, Eyes Wide Shut.
I don't know what that is.
That
Right,
is definitely
see?
8.
No. No.
Hey, relax.
You wet over that?
Eyes Wide Shut is a different
Eyes
type
Wide
of movie.
Shut.
10-pack?
That's 10.
Vanilla Sky.
I don't give you that one.
Vanilla Sky.
That's a 10.
He's at 11.
He's only one person. You can't
Okay.
poll the room.
Oh,
just
and
go-
okay, and just to make it 12, because I don't want to lose, Rain Man.
Hell no. He's
Again,
not in Rain Man. Dog, come on, man.
Rain Man. So that's 12. There you go.
Wow,
So
1988?
so like I said, you
Wow. So on the episode where we recap Juneteenth weekend,
You could have put Risky Business over Rain Man, dog.
you referenced Tom Cruise being better than the great Willard Smith.
Willard Smith.
Wow.
Jr.
I mean, I think
I didn't say better than.
no. You said he's a
I said
far
that-
superior
You said
actor,
he's-
and
you-
Will
and
Smith.
I quote, shitting on him.
Yeah, he shat on Will Smith. That's
didn't hear me.
disgusting.
I didn't say you said.
That's borderline racism.
The Will
On
Smith
Juneteenth weekend.
The
Right.
Will Smith Avengers Unite. Okay, I understand. I didn't mean to offend anybody.
That's-
So there also
That's
was
egregious,
So there also
actually.
was an album that dropped, but for some reason, reading the room, no one wants to talk
That's
about
not
it.
even like.
So there's an
I do have a question.
about.
You talk about Drizzle's album.
You said you didn't want to talk about it.
It's not. No.
Okay.
However, we are 1 month removed from the release of
Yes.
Future,
Right.
Kendrick, and Pusha T.
Right.
Are you still wet for Pusha T? Wow.
Facebook, Instagram. Don't
You're not
forget
gonna
to
answer
like
the
and subscribe. Chumps.
And that's how you end the show. It's over when I say it's over. Good night.
Yo, you're not wet for Pusha T no more? Wow.
You don't gotta go back on that.
That's bad, man. That's bad. Wow.